G'day everybody, I'm Marty Lewis, I run Orb Services and I want to help you live a better life because you run a better business. So what I want to talk about today is how you can do that in terms of the exchange of information and getting it in multiple locations, all from the same source. I do this through a Microsoft 365 subscription. I have the business standard subscription. It costs $18 a month, and everything that I'm going to show you in this video, you can build for $18 a month. So I want to talk about document storage, which is an essential piece of how everybody runs their business and how you can get that on multiple devices and across multiple teams, and also be working on the same live documents and have minimal save file here, wrong file here, update this, all that bullcrap that nobody wants to do, or you're out and about and you can't access this file because that's on your computer. I use 3 devices primarily. I have my desktop, which is technically a laptop, but I have my desktop PC, which is a more hardcore PC that lives basically on my desk all the time. I run a Surface Pro X, which I use when I'm out and about or on site with clients for short periods of time. And I run an iPhone, but everything that I do on an iPhone, you can do on an Android. It does not matter. So this will also help you. Everything that I do, like I said, I do this with an $18 a month Microsoft subscription. Google has basically an equivalent sort of setup that you can do. I don't use Dropbox or any of those third-party providers because I don't need to. I do technically have an Adobe Cloud account, but that's a separate piece. So let's jump in. What I want to show you is what my SharePoint site looks like, how I transition that into document storage, and that's the big piece in making this simple, and you can access these things on your app as well. But let's jump in and take a look. This is what my central Orb Services SharePoint site looks like. Now, the beauty about this is because it is web-based. Now, I use most of my apps web-based. I do still use some of the Microsoft programs in the desktop app, but I use a fair chunk of them web-based. The web-based ones are getting substantially better. So this is my central site, and you can see here that I've got multiple sub-sites set up within that. So this is my home page effectively, and then I've got management, sales, R&D, safety, resources, and marketing and promotions. There's another site here that I haven't really shared, but that's partner documentation. So that's where I share what goes on. The reason that it's great to separate these things is because when I employ somebody who comes on in the marketing team get access to the marketing site, and the sales team, maybe they get access to the sales site, but they're protected from, or they're reserved or restricted from any of the partner information. So that's a way of protecting that documentation and security that you have there, in the same way that I have things in management that I don't need other people in the business to be looking at if I'm bringing people on. So I want to be able to separate that just for that level. So this is a really simple way to set that up. The pain point that people feel with doing this online is that they can't access it, and they're used to using things through File Explorer. We're used to saving things locally on our computer. So what I want to show you is how I manage this through File Explorer. So this is your traditional File Explorer, and you'll notice here I've got quick links, the same as anybody else does. Now, most of my quick links are actually links to OneDrive locations. I've taken out the traditional ones. I never ever store anything locally. And basically, regardless of naming structure, right, everybody will have different pieces. But the point that I want to highlight here is because I save anything that I save here basically ends up in SharePoint. Right? Any of these blue documents, like this financial, image library, partner logos. So image library as an example, that image library is a shortcut to marketing and promotions. So you'll notice here I've got all my shortcuts to different pieces. So when somebody comes along, they have all the information that they need. And then over here, I have an image library. This image library here is this image library here. If I upload a file in here, it ends up in here. If I change something in here, it ends up back in here. So that makes life really easy in terms of attaching emails and doing all that kind of stuff. And the same thing happens on my PC. So the difference is, let's say that I wanted to take content ideas is a list, video library is already there, speaking library is not there. I just click here and add a shortcut to OneDrive. And then all of a sudden, that speaking library will appear here, and it'll have this little blue icon in here. Now, what you can have is, because I've got that to my file. If I add something in there, it's public. If you employ somebody else and they have access to that site, they can bring it down to their OneDrive, and then 3 people or 2 people and 3 people and 4 people all now have access to the same thing. So it's a really easy way to make sure that you can use things across all devices. And the other upside is this: if my computer dies tomorrow, which it might, nobody wants it to, but if my computer dies tomorrow, I can get on a different device, but I could get a brand new device, start a device. This is an incognito window. And I'm just going to go here to orbservices.sharepoint. I'm going to log in. So this could happen on any device if you're overseas, provided you're on a secure network that you trust. Check in on my Authenticator app, because 2-factor authentication is important and you should have that. I'm now here and I can access my entire business. So basically all of the documents that I need to run my business, I can now access from a brand new computer in whatever time that took me to just log in. So that's one of the reasons that I absolutely love this. If you want insight or information about setting that up, I'm going to have some more videos come around about it. But that's basically what you want to be setting out to achieve in your business, because it will just make your life so much easier. So get amongst it, work with that. It doesn't matter what platform you're using. You can do a very similar thing on the Google Workspace suite. The thing that you need to do this is a Microsoft 365 business subscription. You can do it with any of there's like an $8 one, a $20 one, and a $50 one. It doesn't matter which one you have. You can do this with all of them. Everything that I've just shown you, you can do for $18 a month. So get involved in that, make your life easy, and have access to the information that you need wherever you are and whenever you want it. Have a good day, guys. All the best.